it makes sense to me that Wendy Williams was his mentor or his employer at some point. So why did he get fired? The chemistry was off between them. And I also see that Charlamagne hadn't exactly mastered Charlamagne the God hadn't exactly mastered his persona, his character. So I just don't get that he was ready to stay on the Wendy Williams show, especially where Wendy Williams was going at the time. That's what I'm saying from these cards. I get that Charlamagne was always worried about his position there as well, and I get that he did things that were out of character for him, things that he'd be embarrassed to talk about, so that he could stay at the Wendy Williams show. Let's look more into this, because this magician card is what stands out to me. So it was, Charlamagne the God, I don't even want to say, yeah, he got fired, but I feel like he had to walk away. I feel like there was just too much cruelty that he felt that he was experiencing in terms of how it is that, how can I say this? I feel that he felt that people were being cruel to him based around, because this is Wendy Williams, right? This is Wendy Williams, but I'm saying that the cruelty comes from a bad mix of ideas. I don't feel like Charlamagne the God's humor and the way that he saw things worked at the time. I also get that he was also restraining himself. Like he was a lot more traditional in the way that he approached controversy, gossip, and drama. I see that he's had to evolve and learn how to be confident in himself in that way. So there's a lot of, he just wasn't ready. Ultimately, that's what it's saying. He wasn't ready. The cards, even I got to stop pulling right here because this is my black hole card, but my cards are saying that he loved his job, obviously, but what ruined things for him is that it's just a simple interruption in destiny. He wasn't ready. So I do see that he contributed to some really important productions there, like especially, getting notes together and studying how it is that people interview. Nevertheless, I still find myself kind of, how do I say this with Charlamagne the God right now? I still find myself, and I want to pull more cards, I still kind of find myself like questioning whether he was fired in this moment. And in this moment, I'm just questioning. I get that he may have been fired due to I feel like he got used. Like it's almost like he had a certain skill set that he could provide to this station. The station, I feel like his skill set was unique. Maybe his personality was unique. People learned how to mimic that, and then they had no further use for him, and then they gave him the boot. But that's not to say that I'm saying that he was valuable to the Wendy Williams team. I just don't feel like he was valuable enough to keep on. It's kind of like if I were to work at an investment banking firm and they see that I'm a tarot reader, and that's how I end up getting these great investments. As soon as they learn how to tarot read, they may let me go because they realize like they don't need me anymore, right? So that's what I see for Charlamagne. I want to know, did he have sex with Wendy Williams? Hit the skull emoji if you think that Charlamagne the God sucked Wendy Williams' dick. Hit the skull emoji. All right. The Charlamagne the God suck Wendy Williams' dick. All right. All right, so as indicated from the Empress, the Prince of Swords, and then the card for gain, there was a sexual encounter that happened because the Empress would represent someone that's hedonist, very in tune with her sexuality, loves to play with that vagina and that cat and spread them legs open and get it hit from the back. So the Prince of Swords being here represents Charlamagne as a younger individual. I don't know if Charlamagne is like a Gemini or something, but this is saying that there was a no kiss and tell policy, right? But yeah, I do get from as indicated indicated by these cards that there was a sexual encounter that happened. Again, all of these things alleged, and we're just looking at cards, but I do see indicating from these cards that yeah, there was something that happened between them, and he did flip Wendy Williams upside down and turn and transform her from a capital P to a lowercase b. Okay, that's all the spirits want us to know. Okay, so they're just like, look, they had sex, and he did it for gain, like to gain something. So let's see what he was trying to acquire. Let's just get clarification. He didn't really know what he wanted. He really didn't know what he wanted. He was hoping that, like, an ice cube chance in hell. That's how I see it. He was hoping that he could have had longevity on this team, maybe even really co-hosting with Wendy Williams, so much to a degree that people that he could have become a household name at that time. Nevertheless, that didn't come to fruition. It didn't happen. But to the original question, yes, that, you know, that encounter is real. All right. So I want to know, how is Charlamagne the God as a father? Like, I didn't even know he was oh shit. Well, I asked that earlier. I'm sitting here writing these. I wrote some questions down, basically based off of what was on my YouTube. So how is Charlamagne the God as a father? Okay, so as a father, I get that Charlamagne allows his I guess this would be his wife, right? This Queen of Discs. I don't know if he and his wife, I don't know if all of his birth children, basically his birth children, he and his wife share all of their birth children together, or does he have a different baby mama? Does she have a different baby dad? Nevertheless, as a father, he allows for his child's mother to do most of the rearing and the parenting, the cooking and the cleaning. I get that he's someone that contributes financially to his household, though. I don't. Let me see. Give me clarification. Yeah, you know, these two cards are basically saying that Charlamagne the God knows he's supposed to work in media and entertainment, right? He's supposed to be using his voice to he's supposed to be using his voice to bring him financial abundance. Okay, yeah, I was right. Okay, so but this art card here represents two different personalities, or two different sides to himself. So Charlamagne the God would like to be at home more, but I just don't get that that's possible. I get that he's a sort of father that's touch and go, like a FaceTime father. You know, he's gonna give you a good FaceTime call, right? And he's not gonna Charlamagne the God doesn't strike me as a sort of individual that's like a deadbeat dad at all. I just get that he and his wife, they have a system that they've worked out, and it works really well for them. I think that he would like to be more feminist in his parenting practices, but if he were broke, he would probably not be feminist. And if he even with him being rich, I don't get from these cards that he practices an egalitarian sort of child rearing. I see it as good, healthy co-parenting, but I mean, not just co-parenting, but I see it as good, healthy parenting between the two of them. But I don't think that he's around his children as much as he needs to be, but he works really hard. Yeah, these cards are still indicating to me that Charlamagne the God works a lot. Like he's always working, always trying to make money. And because of that, like, you know, because we mentioned his wife, we want to know, like, what's Charlamagne's relationship like with his wife? What is his relationship like with his wife? Hit the skull emoji if you're enjoying this reading. And then if you have other Charlamagne the God questions, please put them in the comments. They have an arrangement. They have an arrangement. It doesn't look like there's real love there. What I can see from these cards is that they've been friends for a while. So this friendship may have started back in high school, college days, but I get that she has been around for a long, long time. Nevertheless, with his relationship with his wife, it's one in which he's a husband. He gives her money, he sends her money, he takes care of the kids. He got her pregnant, he takes care of the kids. I don't see as much intimacy there, but I feel that they go way back. So she understands him very well. She's very patient with him, but I also get that she doesn't sleep with one eye open. She sleeps with both eyes open. A gun in her hand, her third eye open, and both of her feet trying to touch the ceiling because she stay ready. And what I mean by that is I don't get that she trusts her husband, but she knows not to trust him. At the same time, I don't know if she even cares about trust, because from what I can see is like, look, as long as we can travel, and as long as my boys, because I feel that she has boys, as long as my boys stay looking good, we have no problems. I'm gonna continue looking into this because I don't feel like I'm digging deeply enough. So I'm gonna ask this. What do we need to know about Charlamagne the God's marriage? Okay, well, they communicate a lot through text messages, and they argue a lot through text messages. She is very patient with him, but I also get that she has his wife has a practical sort of wisdom about herself where she's not. I don't get that she tries to be emotional with him. I really do think that she has to just deal with the facts sometimes. Like, she's just like, look, he paid the bills this month, and I'm happy with that. He did this month, and I'm happy with that. But when she starts to get too emotional, what happens? Like, when she starts to get emotional, how does he react to her? He starts trying to pull them purse strings. Look at all this money. All this money. Baba, give me this money. Yeah. Y'all don't know nothing about that. That's the A star. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, so they're basically, Charlamagne the God just stops. He just stops giving money. He just stops giving her money. But the other thing is, when I'm saying giving her money, I mean this is in like large sums of money. Get your hair done. We got a nanny sort of tip. So let me see. Let me ask. Does he control her? I mean, I guess that is the overall message. He's kind of controlling with the money. Why daddy stingy? That's what she want to know. Why is Charlamagne the God stingy? Why daddy Charlotte stingy? In the words of Dr. Heavenly, Daddy, why you stingy? Look, Charlamagne the God don't give something for nothing. Like, he ain't gonna give you something for nothing. Okay, he needs some neck. He need the throat. He need that esophagus. He need that anus. He need them toes. All in his mouth. It is just like he's sexually motivated. He's and I mean sexually motivated in the sense that he's very in tune with his body. He knows what he wants, and he has an appetite that needs to be satiated. So when that appetite is satiated, you're gonna get what you need, not exactly everything that you want. And so yeah, that's how the marriage is. Does he cheat on his wife? Does Charlamagne the God cheat on his wife? I want to say no. Yeah. No, he doesn't. He doesn't, and the reason that he doesn't is because he's entered a higher level of spiritual consciousness. I feel like he's gotten very happy with his wife, where things are in his life. I just don't feel like he feels that he needs to satiate his appetite in that way. These three cards are indicating that he's working on building a platform, like a media platform or something. Because I know he works in the media, but also because it's the Knight of Swords here, then it means that there's going to be a lot of political debate or intellectual debates on it. So, I guess the reason I'm bringing this up is because if his wife is watching the video and you're suspicious about what he has going on, if he's been cheating on you, he has in the past, but as of right now, I don't see that today. I don't see that, within the next 3 or 4 months. I get that if she continues to encourage him and to talk sweetly to him, to tell him that he can do it and that she wants to see his wildest dreams come true. Hey, the world is his oyster, and her pussy is his oyster too. So it's like Charlamagne the God, again, he'll act right when he's satisfied with things. If he's not satisfied in his life, he's gonna be disruptive. All right. Now I want to get some information about his sexuality and sexual orientation. Okay, what do we need to know about Charlamagne the God's sexuality and sexual orientation? All right, so this bottom row of cards is just clearly just like, look, he and his wife, they go back a long time. As far as this is concerned, it's like he's married. Everything here is just saying he's married. That's all these cards are like. He's married. He and his wife send each other a lot of love letters, love exchanges. So I get that Charlamagne the God may be on the verge of like really settling down, even though he's been married. Let's see, what else can we get? Okay, what is can you tell me, just because we were talking about his sexuality, can we get Charlamagne the God's get information on Charlamagne the God's sexual orientation? The Temperance card. With this Temperance card here, this could indicate bisexuality, right? But ultimately, this looks like Charlamagne is attracted to people that have money. It doesn't really matter what they look like. His wife may have had a really good job before they got married. I don't know, but in his marriage, he doesn't really care about those sorts of things. Now, hold on. I mean, he says a lot of questionable shit, but these cards just keep indicating to me that if he's not heterosexual, this is a very heavy burden on him that he's never going to talk about. This Nine of Wands kind of indicates there's a touch of fluidity that's still there within him, but even then, these cards just keep saying that. He loves women, yeah, but there's also a part of him that just wants to have a wife for show, like as a trophy for nobody to question him. And then you ask yourself, question him about what? There's really nothing there. There's nothing underneath there. Let me see. Has Charlamagne the God ever slept with a man? Has Charlamagne had intercourse with another man? Charlamagne gets approached a lot, quite often from what I can see. He gets approached quite often from very popular gentlemen. I don't think that he's had intercourse with the man, but if he did, he's saying to himself like he's got his pick of the litter. Let's see. Yeah, Charlamagne is not going to allow this side of himself to come out, at least not publicly. And if it does, it's going to be about some money. But he naturally feels that the things I mentioned, he would naturally do if homophobia wasn't real, and he ain't going to do all this for some money. Okay. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. He ain't going to do all of this for some money. All right. So now we want to know, does he want to start his own show and go on a different career path? Charlamagne want his own show and to go on a different career path. He does, because he feel there are things going on behind the scenes between he and Angela Yee where he's having to really soften himself up so that he doesn't continue bothering her and making her uncomfortable. She has I get that she's trying to raise the consciousness of the staff around her so they can hold him more accountable in terms of making her uncomfortable. But what that's doing is also what he feels is inhibiting him from expressing his humor in its fullness. He really likes the type of work that he does, but he's not going to commit to it if he can't just plain out be himself. He feels that he's already had to make a lot of changes at this particular network, and for them to ask for more on behalf of Angela Yee might be too much. Nevertheless, I see Charlamagne thinking about returning to his old ways in terms of, the way that he delivered his commentary, being humorous, maybe even returning to an old position as well. But I get from these cards that these things are pushing him to want to find a new platform. But again, I said earlier he was going to build his own platform. So does he want to start something new on his own? He's already been looking for it. He's already been looking for it. He's just waiting on a passion project to come to him, and that's what he really wants. He wants to work on a passion project. If it's not something that he's passionate about, he knows he's going to half-ass it and not give it his all. Which I also feel is why he has a problem with Angela Yee's complaints and trying to get the staff to be sensitive in a way that he has issues honoring or accommodating for. All right. I want to thank you for tuning into the reading. I've been your reader for today, Hugon Negrezo. You can purchase a private psychic reading by going to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com. For as little as $2 a month, you'll receive these and other videos at least 1 week ahead of their YouTube release date. Go to patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. You can enroll in my online magic academy where you can learn more about tarot, candle magic, and ancestral worship. You can go to blackspectrumnetwork.com and select the link for my online magic academy. We have free courses available to teach you how to do magic and perform divinations. Before I go, I'll leave you with these words of wisdom from the rapper Dreezy. Gave mercy to these hoes. What would Jesus do? I've been your reader for today, Hugon Negrezo, and remember, the truth is always collaborative. Thanks for watching.
So fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your liar too. Cause when we're here, there's nothing better than the skyline view.